might be hurt.
Oh gosh.
But this is what I say. I'm too experienced.
EK, you have one of the best male voices in St. Kitts and Nevis, maybe in the Caribbean. I remember my Shorty, she's Naughty, and I'm aware that you make original music as part of bands. But I always wondered, have you ever personally pursued a solo music career?
No, I never did.
You never had the interest, you didn't think it was feasible?
It was multifaceted, if I could say that, because in my experience, even though I have this great voice and talent to perform, I don't see myself as a songwriter. And of course, you need material with which to work. And what I find over the years in St. Kitts is that there are not very many people who are willing to just write a song and have you purchase it. If a man write a song, whether he sound like a chipmunk or he sound like a Rottweiler, he wants to sing his song, you know? And it's only been about, 6 months since I found somebody who could actually do that. So I've already had a couple of songs written. They're there, beats are there, but because of this whole COVID thing, we just had to, put certain things on pause because, studio time and how I work in the media as well. So that has been one of the biggest Achilles heel for me, finding somebody who could write me a song that is a song of substance that I could actually sing, because singing no foolishness, and actually get it out there from a business standpoint. So I think over the years, we have grown as an entertainment industry. But back then, crap. That's just my experience.
Good to see that you as an artist, you're willing to say, okay, well, this is not my strong point, but I want to collaborate with writers to make some good music. So is this like an exclusive? Does everybody know that EK is going to be pushing some original music in the near future?
No, the only a few people in this circle would know, because you're one of them now.
Well, everybody's gonna know now, because I'm about to tell the whole world that EK is bringing us some original tracks, and that's real exciting for the industry. You mentioned that it was a little different before, difficult to find people to write, and now the music climate in St. Kitts is really, really buzzing. What is your assessment of the artists who are out right now?
We got some really talented artists in St. Kitts and Nevis, and it has been that way for quite some time. The problem back then was a matter of getting access to proper training and being exposed to proper business practices in terms of entertainment. But of late, I think it was the past 5 or 10 years, I see where the growth is and the focus is. And it seems as though everybody is now on board just because of COVID, why a lot of things ain't, roll out how I thought they would have rolled out. But the artists that we have some brilliant ones. I mean, you could see the content that they're trying to push out now, the quality of the music, what it was back then is a lot better now. So I think that the future for St. Kitts and Nevis artists looking pretty good. The only downside that I see is one thing to record a good song, but if you can perform it, then you really truly can't make no kind of money. Yeah. You understand? So that's one of the avenues that I think that we could use a lot of improvement on, the stage performance, the stage presence, and the presentation as well. So that when you actually get booked for a gig, people could see, okay, this is what I'm paying you for. Because when you come on stage, you put on a very good show. And so paying you wouldn't be a problem. Right. So we want to get artists from just going on stage and grabbing the crutch and standing up one spot and,
Grabbing the crutch ain't gonna stop.
It ain't gonna stop, but at least you could add something else with it. Right. You know what I mean? Invest in your voice, invest in your craft, make it so that you put on a good show, a good product, so that your stock could increase.
And a product that you could export.
Yes.
You're speaking here as such a role model, But you know, the personality EK is very wild.
Yes.
You have a
Yes.
massive audience, but more importantly, you're a husband and you're a father. Do you think
Right.
about that when you are presenting that personality in the public? Do you feel any sense of responsibility or purpose for when and how you use your platform?
Let me give you a backstory to that.
Okay.
When I came into radio, before I got into radio, I actually went to school to do architectural design technology. Yes, I wanted either to be an architect or a pilot. So when I was finished with college, couldn't get a job. The only job that was available was at a radio station for $150 a week. So that is what I had to do. And when I came into radio, you had people like Sugar Bowl on the radio, Sensi on the radio. You had the Big JL, you had JGP, you had also the lady from Trinidad, I can't remember her name at the time, but they were also on Gem Radio. You had Junie Libud, you had El Green, you had Chico, who else was on radio? You had Miguel on radio, MK. You had a good host of radio personalities in radio already established. So when I came in, I had to carve out my own niche and identity. You had the family man, you had the jokester, you had the things them. So I took all of those things, wrapped it into one, and sprinkle it, well, not sprinkle it, I dash some sexuality on it. You understand? Because I just dash it on. You know, certain things that I would say on the radio, a lot of people wouldn't say. But how I would say it, it sounds nasty, but it still sounds sexy at the same time.
Hey.
You understand? I had to get a whole new personality, identity in order to have my own little space because I didn't want to just come in and just be another radio presenter personality. So I had to create something. I had to create an alter ego, so to speak.
Right.
But if you know me outside of the entertainment, I am shy, reserved, quiet. I like peace and serenity.
Wow.
I don't like large crowds. I don't like large gatherings. I don't like noise. Yes.
No.
So unless I'm working, I'm always at home. So, and I also got married at a young age because the principles that I was brought up with, I was brought up in the church. So if you look at EK and think that you know me, you really don't. You would have to get to know Maurice.
Wow.
There's a big difference, and only certain people are allowed to see that side of me. You understand? Because you can show yourself all the time. And the problem that I find with this now is that everywhere I go, everybody wants me to be EK. My wife then, because we're not married anymore, my wife then, yeah, she knew me and she know that, you know, EK stops at the door. When it's 6 o'clock, I lock off EK and I go home, and that's where I'm at until the very next day. I don't go out, I don't lime, I don't have a host of friends. You know, sometimes some men will say, well, I go to lime with the boys. Not me. I home with my kids. I prefer to be home with my kids, chilling out, doing something with them. You know, and so if you understood that, then people often say, well, how she could be married to he and he's so on the radio, but that's just radio. That is to secure the purse. But outside of that, I'm an entirely different person.
The EK on radio didn't affect the marriage.
No.
You knew. Okay.
No.
When you do your solo music, who are we getting, Maurice or EK?
You're getting a little bit of both.
Okay.
You're getting a little bit of both because the music that I want to do now is going to be sexual, it's going to be conscious, it's going to be fun, it's going to be a lot of things. You know, everything, every emotion that you could think about that you get with music is going to be all of that. But I don't think the dominant side of me, which is more mellow and reserved, is going to basically sell in St. Kitts and Nevis. I could do things like those, but for a different market. But you have to look at the market that that you're actually in and what you're trying to sell, so you could craft your product to suit that. And once you know that, then you're basically gonna be all right.
Well, I'm very excited for all of it. And I want to hear more about some things, but we'll talk about that after the interview. My last question for you is, what song, whether it be something from the past or something that will come out on your upcoming project, what song do you recommend that everybody put on repeat?
And repeat, well, it would be two of them, you know. You either have to be Naughty Shorty or Party Like a West Indian. I'm not sure if you've ever heard that one, but you should check out that one. Party Like a West Indian. It touches on every aspect of being a West Indian.
Okay. Yeah.
Food, the culture, the color, the music, everything. So even if you are in Taiwan and you're from the Caribbean, Party Like a West Indian still.
Okay.
So that would be one of two, but I would go with Naughty Shorty. I would say.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview, EK.
Bless up yourself. Rastafari.
Okay. Interview done. Now, back to you now.